Hey, so today's vlog is going to be taking place in my kitchen because I have to make 6 dozen chocolate chip cookies for an event this weekend, and I also need to get this vlog out, so I'm trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I don't burn the cookies. Now, I know in this vlog I was supposed to tell you guys about the second and third project, but I unfortunately had to put that aside, but for really good reasons. I was contacted by a miniature design company to do a commission for them. So this company's called Black Forge Games, and they reached out to me back in July, seeing if I would be interested in painting up their newest figurine that was about to come out in September, named or called Gluten, I think is how you pronounce it. They also were going to then have me paint it and then ship it out to another company for a charity raffle. And of course, I said yes. So if you haven't heard of Black Forge Games, they are a small 4-person miniature design company, and I think they're based out of New Zealand. I know some of them are in Brazil as well. And they put out some of the most beautifully complex and story-rich miniatures I've ever seen, which of course is right up my alley. So after some back and forth with Black Forge Games about details and timelines, I was shipped the figure and I was planning on starting to work on it immediately. Unfortunately, the first obstacle was realized right as I unboxed the print, as the printer forgot to send me the main character's head, which is kind of a problem. So this commission isn't just me painting it, it's also filming the process so they can use it for marketing and so on and so forth. So without the head, I couldn't really start other than priming and doing a little bit of like filming on the side. But after a week's delay, I finally received the head and I was able to begin painting. Thankfully, and kind of surprisingly, I was given complete creative control over how I wanted to paint this piece, which, as you can see, technically includes 2 figures and then like setting pieces. As soon as I accepted the commission, I started researching and finding references because I prefer to paint from references. I find that I do better work that way. And then I made final choices of how I was going to go about it as I began to paint. During my research, I thought about doing OSL, or object source lighting, for the moon element because it's kind of a large part of the piece. But I decided ultimately to not do OSL because this would be my first time trying the technique. And I figured, you know, doing OSL on a massive commission piece for the first time is probably not the smartest idea. Plus, I also kind of looked at it as more of a backdrop of a live theater performance. If you look at the piece, it really reminds me of almost like a stage piece rather than a realistic representation of the moon. For my research and then just choosing my preference, I decided to have the archer in greens and orange reds because through my research, I think that this tree is supposed to be a Japanese maple, and so I wanted to have the archer be in colors that could help him hide amongst the branches, the moss, the leaves that are found on said Japanese maple tree. And yes, I know we don't see any of the leaves on this design or on the tree, but I like basing all my research in reality and then adding the fantastical elements later if need be, but I'd rather base everything in reality. The dead samurai element took me a little longer to decide what direction to go, but I think I want to go towards pale yellow and golds. Through my research, I found many examples of armor in different colors like blues and greens and that popular red that everyone knows. But when I found this image of the pale yellows, orange, and golds, I was absolutely hooked. I'd never seen anything like it, and it just really resonated with me. And after working on the archer for a while, I do think the yellows will go well with the piece overall. So as it stands, I've put about 21 hours into this piece, and I think I'm about halfway done. Throughout the entire process of painting this, I've been meticulously tracking my time because I don't actually know how long it takes me to paint things. And with this piece, I just want to have a better understanding of, you know, the numbers for commissions because I would like to do this more often. And I can guess, but I just don't know. Outside of working on this commission, another update I can tell you guys about is I went to a local studio to photograph and film the hermit crab diorama because my home studio is not big enough and I wanted to get a better high quality lighting and, you know, white background, that kind of stuff. And on top of that, I've also started streaming the painting of this commission. I've always loved sharing the process of painting my pieces, but with this commission and meticulously tracking my time, I didn't want to get distracted because, you know, streaming and chat can be quite distracting. So what I did to help mitigate that is I made up an entirely new streaming setup specifically for hyper-focused work. It's very much set up like a co-working stream. I've got an idle game on screen while I'm painting in the bottom corner. And I'm really jazzed about this setup because the game is called Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions, and built in it comes with a Pomodoro timer, to-do list, really good lo-fi music, built-in sound machine, and then it also has the added element of the game, which you collect really fucking adorable spirits in your extremely aesthetic attic apartment. I'm really hoping that this can become a way that I can share my commission painting with y'all, but still protect my focus at the same time. I never thought I would be one to enjoy painting for others, but through this experience, I'm kind of really excited about the idea of commissioning. I've been really enjoying spending my days painting for others. I'm kind of excited. It's kind of giving me the idea of maybe I could or even want to do this full time, which is a crazy thought. I mean, try not to get too hopeful, but I don't know. Maybe this could become something. But yeah, I'm excited, but I don't want to get too hopeful and then be disappointed if something doesn't work out, but I also don't want to stamp on a spark that could lead to really, really good things. It's a battle every day. But anyways, let's try these cookies. First time making gluten-free for a friend. Not bad. Not bad. Now let's try to make 5 dozen more. We got this.